Ladies and gentlemen, a black college student was hungry and was just looking for some food on campus. And he suddenly was pinned down by officers on the campus. You know, it never ends. We have to see this over and over, day in and day out. A week doesn't go past where we see something that's not even a crime made to be a crime in America. And it never can be anything big or interesting. It's always some petty shit that they make a big deal out of. And we don't see this happening to everybody, y'all. No, not at all. You know? So this came out in the Washington Post. A black college student went looking for free food. He ended up pinned down by campus officers. All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and watch the video.
No reason. You have no right to touch me. Take your hands off me. You're going to take your hands off me. You're going to take your hands off me. Take your hands off me. Take your body off me. I did not touch anybody. I didn't violate anybody. Why your hands off me? Take your hands off of me. Take your hands off of me. Why are you touching me? Take your hands off of me.
Let's walk outside.
Let me show you my ID. You want to see my ID? I'm a Columbia University student. You see this? That's me. This is the third time Body Public Safety has chased me down. And you put your hands on me. I didn't touch any of you. Not to be ashamed of yourself.
Walk outside.
I'm not walking outside. I'm a Columbia University student. You saw my ID. Give me my ID back.
Hold on to your ID.
No, I need my ID.
I'm gonna hold on to your ID.
Give me my ID back, sir. Excuse me.
Hold on.
Excuse me. This is my ID. I'm walk outside. Well, we're not talking outside. No, because you don't want to make a statement. You're talking right here. You want to talk to me right here. But Columbia University student have a right to be in this building.
Yeah, we're gonna find out if you're a student.
You saw my ID. What else do you need to see?
Let's see if you're an active student.
You see my ID right now.
Right.
Scan your thing. I'm a student here. This is ridiculous. You put your hands on me. I didn't touch anybody. I saw what happened. Sorry.
No, don't be sorry.
I work for the Columbia Daily Spectrum. I'm right about your folks, okay? Yeah.
I'm going to hold on to it. I'm verifying something with Columbia right now.
What are you verifying with Columbia? You already know I'm an active student.
Okay?
Okay, well, I'm going to stay here at least until I get my ID, okay? Because, I came in here like I was supposed to. You stole my ID.
Okay?
You pushed me down the table.
You
And now you're accusing me of breaking some rules.
Did you show your ID at the main gate?
I didn't know I was supposed to show my
When
ID
he
at the
asked
main
you,
gate, so
you
I've never done that.
you ran into the building.
I did not run into the building. I walked into the building. Nobody saw me run.
Okay?
You was walking into the building. You was walking.
Yeah, I got to run into the courtyard.
I did not run through any courtyard. I walked into the courtyard.
Wasn't walking.
Okay.
Well, he ran a nice courtyard on 16. He was crossing awfully fast, and he got right in front of the van.
I was running to catch the light,
Okay.
sir. That's not the same.
Was it?
I was running across the
You have a
street to
gauge?
catch the light.
Do you have a gauge where you can measure how fast he was walking?
Does it matter?
Were you there?
But does it matter?
It does matter. You know why? I'm
How
going to
fast
tell you why.
crossing the street?
Yes,
Why?
because he crossed in front of the van. Relax.
You were
Relax.
trying to
And relax.
Yeah, because I don't see that right away. You're taking a
All right, please stop talking.
yeah. Okay.
Don't talk to me.
All right.
This is when they need that part. This is how they say it. Yeah, I know.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, the student's name is Alexander McNabb. Now, in America, if you look like you got any black in you, they're going to treat you that way. It's a fact. Okay? It is a fact. So you saw how this officer was talking to the young black woman. They actually want you to listen to their pettiness and understand it. That's the thing that gets me the most. I'm supposed to listen to your petty reasons and say, oh, well, yeah, well, that makes sense. No, somebody running up to a light and trying to cross the street before the light change, that's not a crime. When did that become a crime? He ran in front of the van. Running in front of a van is a crime? You know, see, that's the thing. Whenever these incidents happen, they always want you to understand their pettiness. And there's no understanding it. It's stupid. Running is not a crime. Trying to beat a light is not a crime. He didn't hurt anybody in the process, did he? Did he run across the street and knock down several people? I don't get it. And what was the purpose in taking his ID and refusing to give it back? What was the purpose in that? See, you know, in my opinion, these folks are really out in public, laying and waiting for an opportunity to nab a black person. They're all doing it. We are seeing this way too often for us to believe otherwise. Now just getting back into this article, he had work to do and his anthropology thesis was looming. So the 23-year-old pulled out his phone to check a Facebook page where students can post and find the most universally reliable staple on an American college campus, free food. So they must post, you know, and that's a good thing because there are a lot of people struggling in college. So if there's locations where they can get free food and they can just go over there and grab a bite to eat, I don't see nothing wrong with that. Other students had just deposited party leftovers in a nearby Barnard College library where Columbia students are welcome to study. McNabb headed that way. By the end of the night, he would find himself the latest subject of another viral video, the kind that revived the tense conversation communities are having nationwide about police use of force, racial profiling, and the risks that come with being a person of color in the United States. On his quest for free food, McNabb had an encounter with public safety officers, which included a disagreement about a student ID that led officers to pin him to the counter. The incident, filmed by two witnesses, inspired a weekend of unrest on the New York City campuses, where administrators had released statements and held listening sessions, and students have called attention that some consider a chronic problem with the public safety department. Barnard has issued multiple statements and hired an independent investigator. The officers involved who do not carry guns have been placed on paid administrative leave. That's just vacation, y'all. Vacation. McNabb, who said all he wanted to do was work and study this weekend, has instead spent the past 3 days fielding interviews, answering emails, and explaining what it's like to be Black. Wow. There's never a good time for this to happen, McNabb told the Washington Post, but this weekend I had all these things to do. The night of the encounter, McNabb said, he set off towards the free food, crossing the street, dividing the Columbia and Barnard campuses, and passing in front of a Barnard public safety van that was waiting to turn left. McNabb said he sped up as he crossed to catch the light before it turned. He walked through the official gate to Barnard's campus, where he heard someone shout, "Hello, sir, hello, sir." He didn't look back, not this time. McNabb thought about 2 other occasions. He had been stopped by Barnard public safety officers and asked to show his ID. Encounters, he said, were a result of racial profiling. They once demanded to see his ID as he was leaving a 2-hour dance practice. Another time, he left dance practice to run barefoot to the bathroom, and he was stopped again because the officers assumed he was homeless. It was campus policy to ask for student identification after 11 p.m., a rule McNabb later said he was aware of, but had not considered in the moment. At the time, he said he believed the officers were stopping him only because of the color of his skin. McNabb kept walking into the library and towards the food. Female students greeted him, offered him a plate, and told him to take as much as he wanted. He scooped up some lamb and rice. Then the officers walked up. There were 2 of them, then 4, then more. They demanded to see his student ID, McNabb and the witnesses said. The officers grabbed McNabb's arms and pushed him against the counter at the coffee shop in the library's first floor. They forced him onto his back. That's when Caroline Cutlip, Barnard Jr., who had posted about the food, started filming. The moment I saw him pinned back on the table, it was so reminiscent of police brutality, things I've seen online. Cutlip, the only white student watching, later said of her decision, she said she thought of herself, "I need to say something. I feel like I am someone who can use my privilege to say something here, but I had no clue what to say," Cutlip said. Okay, sorry, y'all. So I started filming. In the first of the 2 videos she recorded, McNabb is surrounded by at least 5 public safety officers. "Take your hands off of me," McNabb yells, and we saw that in the video. So they demanded to see his student ID card. One officer, who seemed to be leading the rest, glazed over his shoulder towards the table of Barnard students where Cutlip was filming. The officer looked back at McNabb and again at Cutlip's camera. He released his grip. So you saw the officer take his ID and wouldn't even give it back to him, you know? Now, ladies and gentlemen, one thing I do want you to realize, this happens to Black students all over the country, okay? Now, this guy does look like he possibly biracial, but nevertheless, they didn't treat him any differently, did they? No. So just because you are paying to be in college, it doesn't mean police brutality or any profiling disappear. Okay, even when you're paying for college and you're in these situations, it doesn't end. It doesn't end. You know, there are some colleges that now offer a safe space for Black students. And I think that is something that really needs to be considered all over the country, because we are in a situation in this country where we are constantly being watched and profiled. People are putting all kinds of false information out there. They are trying to insinuate there's a crime when no crime has happened. And they're talking about him running in front of the police van. I didn't know that was a crime. If the light says you can cross the street regardless whether you ran in front of any random van or a cop van, I don't think that's a crime. It really isn't. So, ladies and gentlemen, those of you that think you are exempt in the community because you might be on the light side or biracial, just know you are not exempt when it comes down to profiling. And I've seen this before. I've seen this even in my area. But please tell me what you think about this incident. You know, once again, there was no crime committed, but the reaction from these campus officers would make you think the worst crime just happened. Somebody running across the street to beat the light is something to be suspicious about now, ladies and gentlemen. You know, pay attention to this kind of stuff, because just because your child may be the best student at college, may not get in trouble, they will still be targeted. You don't have to be a criminal to get targeted by the police in America, especially if you have dark skin. But please tell me what you think, ladies and gentlemen. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.